Hello, I'm Sarah, but you can call me Pixie. I like adult fantasy books, and so if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the books that I read in the month of January. Depending on how you look at this, January may have been a good month or a not so great month because of how I'm counting what I did read. We started the month off with 4 rereads because I don't know, I got it in my head that I was trying to put off a certain book because I know the next one is not out yet, and I wish that I was able to hold off a little longer, but I wasn't, so I reread the first 4 books of the Kingstark Tidings series. And then I read Dragons and Demons by Cal Cade, the 5th book of the Kingstark Tidings series. And I am beside myself. If you're a fan of Kingstark Tidings, and you have not read the 5th book yet, I encourage you to maybe try and hold off a little longer. I did not make it, and now I cannot stop hypothesizing and checking obsessively Cal Cade's website, looking for updates as to when the next book may come out. I have a feeling that she is a bit busy writing right now. I haven't seen any updates. She has a trilogy that she's trying to finish for Tor, and I haven't seen a release date for the 3rd and final book of that yet. The website I know hasn't been updated in a while because it still has the Dragons and Demons pre-order buttons and whatnot available, and that was released in September of last year, so it's been a few months. So I'm kind of hoping she's beyond the 60% that it's showing for the 3rd book of that series that I am blanking. Shroud of Prophecy, I think that's the series. But outside of that, she has nothing yet on the website for the 6th book, so who knows when we're actually going to get that. And yeah, Dragons and Demons definitely gets a 5-star. I don't really want to say much about it, obviously, because it is a continuation of a series, but this is probably my favorite series. It's definitely up there. If it's not my favorite, it's somewhere in like the top 3 probably. I don't even know what would be up. I can't think right now what would be up there. I am so obsessed with the series at the moment. Oh. I've tried explaining the series a few times, and I don't know that I can do it justice, but I'll give it a go again. Okay, so Free the Darkness is the 1st book of this glorious series. We follow Rezkin, who has been brought up to learn like anything and everything about wars, politics, economics. So he knows how to run a kingdom, he knows how to fight, he can do battle strategy, but he has been raised in such a way that he doesn't understand emotions. He I think has a basic understanding, so he might know like happy, sad, and angry. He's never exactly felt these emotions himself though. So one day he is basically released into the world. And it is quite interesting, I think, with the things that happen. So in addition to emotions, he doesn't understand friendship or friends. And one of the like hundreds of rules that he was given to follow is supposed to be protect and honor your king. But in the way that it was given to him, the person misspoke and said protect and honor your friends. Not knowing what the heck friends are. He is released into the world. He meets somebody just by chance, and friendly conversation. This individual says something about, I'm glad that we're friends. He now thinks that there is some secret society or whatever, and this person found him by chance or knowing to be looking for him or something, and it's funny in a way, and then he's fighting and seeing the things that the kingdom is essentially falling to pieces at the moment. The current king killed his father so that he could be king, and he is a mad king. His younger brother is presumed dead, but he is missing, and so there is nobody that can really like dethrone this mad king that is taking this kingdom into utter chaos and dismantling it, basically. So Rezkin, through the friends that he meets and makes, and other stuff that happens, he picks up the mantle, and eventually, I realize I don't think he picks up the mantle until the second book. He will take up the mantle and try to put the kingdom to rights. So yeah, that's the series in a nutshell, kind of. Next, I finished a book I believe I started in December, I think, that I got from Scribd. Downloaded from Scribd. And that is No Plot, No Problem by Chris Beatty. Right, I got that? Yes. By Chris Beatty. Chris is the founder of NaNoWriMo, and I originally was looking for some help with plot in the story that I had started for this past NaNoWriMo in November, and this is not that kind of book. This is very much written for how to survive NaNoWriMo. There is even a breakdown towards the end of the maybe like last half of the book for like, here's week 1, this is what you should focus on, don't worry about anything, and like leading up to NaNoWriMo, here's your prep. Here's what you focus on week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So while there were some snippets of some like things to consider for your plot and whatnot, it wasn't exactly what I was looking for in that moment. But I think it is definitely a good book if you're looking to start writing, because there's some good tidbits. Or if you're thinking about participating in NaNoWriMo, there's a camp coming up in April, and then they have a second camp I believe in July, and then the main event in November where you try and write 50,000 words. For the camps you can pick your word count, but this book was very much written for the 50,000 hoo-ha in November. The final book I finished in January, I finished literally pretty much at the last possible moment. Although it wasn't exactly like 11:59 p.m. on January 31st, but it was January 31st when I finished Vlog Like a Boss by Amy. I'm not even going to attempt her last name. Yeah, no, not happening. I do actually follow Amy's YouTube channel a bit. I'm not a dedicated, like, watching every video kind of thing. But she does have some good information on her YouTube channel, so if you're looking to become an entrepreneur or you're just looking for some motivation to get you through the day, check out her channel. She's got some great stuff to offer. And this was the first book that she put together. I have had it for I don't know how many years at this point. So this was a very much, okay, let's take some of the old books that I own and haven't read and read them finally. Because like this, it did not age well. While there is some worthwhile information, at the same time there's not a lot, because some of the things she talks about and tricks and whatnot, YouTube has changed how their platform works, and so some of the stuff you can't do anymore unless you have so many subscribers and so many average watch hours. I think it's average watch hours, it might be total watch hours for like a period of like 30 days and be able to keep that up. So it was helpful but also not helpful. This book, unfortunately, I probably needed to read it a while back, like probably when I first got it, but for whatever reason that did not happen. And then the book I am still in the process of reading is A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy? Yes, by Amanda Joy. I am struggling with this and I don't even know why. I'm interested in it, I'm just not obsessively interested in it, I guess would be the way to say it. And then there are other books that keep piquing my interest, and so while I'm in the middle of A River of Royal Blood, I put it down for whatever reason and then read, say, like Dragons and Demons by Cal Cade, because I'm more interested in that book and that series than I am in starting yet a new series. But it is a book that I own. It is a book I do intend on reading. It's just taking me way longer than anticipated for some reason. I do think it has to do with it being a YA fantasy instead of an adult fantasy. I do see, like, my taste is very much going towards adult fantasy. Most of the books that I own that are unread, though, are YA. I may have to make some concessions or something for my reading goals that I made. I don't know. I'm struggling with the YA this year. Basically, for this one, we have two... Oh, there's a term that she has in the book and I forget what it is. There's two competing princesses, though. And essentially when the youngest reaches the age of, I think it was 17, there is like a day to celebrate, and then they are rival heirs. That's what it is, rival heirs. And one has to kill the other. And the one that wins will become queen. That's a very nice kingdom. One sister, the oldest, apparently has the power to control other people, to express and put her will on others and make them like fawn over her kind of power. This youngest sister has the power of blood and bone. So she can very much injure you, but because this power is so rare, there's nobody around to teach her how to use it. So she has to basically learn on her own. Eventually in this book, she does find a teacher to teach her, but we are very much like coming up to her birthday, her name day, and so we're running out of time for her to learn her powers. She is also afraid of her powers because they are very deadly and accidents happen. We are also getting to a point where her life is in danger. Somebody is trying to kill her before the name day and before the rival heir stuff is supposed to happen. So it's a little interesting, the things going on. And that is about where I am in the book right now. So I can't really say more. I don't know that I would because I am like a third of the way through, so any more would probably be spoilery. So that's where I'm at. I'll let you know when I finish it. Hopefully I finish it in February with some other books. February is off to a slow start. I've been doing some stuff for work, and February is only 28 days, so here's hoping for February to be at least equal to January. Not that January was that great. So of the 65 books that I would like to read that I own, I read 2. Because we're not counting the rereads. Otherwise, if we count the rereads and the book I got from Scribd, that's 7 for rereads and then the 3. So yeah, so there's 7 books that I read in the month of January total. 4 of them were audiobooks. So it's possible for February to be equal to January, I hope, maybe. We shall see how February goes. How did your month of reading go in January? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you soon with a new video. TTFN!